Hello, you guys. Hello, and welcome to the TUF Woman Table. So, as you can see, my guest is not on here. I'm not sure what happened. So, Samantha, if you see this, still come in, and we'll get the show started. So, as you guys come in, say hey, let me know that you're here. My daughter is with me today. Rebecca, you're more than welcome to come say hi. So I'm going to just roll with it. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Maybe my daughter would like to come do the show with me. This is my daughter, you guys. Say hey. All right, you guys. Welcome to the TUF Woman Table. You know what it is. You going to come join the table with me? No? Okay. So you guys, again, I'm not sure where my guest is. If anybody wants to come on, I'd be more than happy to take you on. But tonight, I think what I'm going to do until I figure out what's going on with the guest is I'm going to talk a little bit about where everything started and why I'm doing what I'm doing and what is the whole story behind TUF Woman coaching, right? So let's talk a little bit about my story. Yeah, right. I think I've shared a little bit about this, but we're gonna go ahead.
My mom's on a whole new level.
You want to sit down and tell them a little bit of the story with me?
Which part?
Which part? Which part? Okay, so you guys, let's go back. When did I get divorced from Josh?
Oh,
separated.
Probably about 5 years.
Okay, so 25, you guys, and up until that time, I had been dating from the time I was her age, 14, until the time I was 25, and I decided that I was no longer going to date anymore because I had a really crappy string of relationships.
She really did, though.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Hold on. You guys, I gotta do something. Just read that, please. Okay. Okay. So you guys, so let's go back a little bit. So I realized looking back after I left my relationship that I'd had a really crappy string of relationships. You guys say hey, comment, disregard her face in the back.
No, you can't diss on my face. I look just like you.
I'm not just disregard, not diss.
You can't diss on my face.
So you guys, all right, let's get serious because you're going to come into this too. All right. All right. So you're going to come into this too. So,
okay.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got some time here. And maybe my guests will come on. I don't know. But anyways, you guys, so let's go back 25, and now I'm living with my mom. So I had realized from the time I was 14 to the time I was 25 that I had some really bad relationships.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 14, I was really out of control. Denise says she is awesome. She really is. So when I was her age, and she knows this, you guys, I believe in what's called conscious parenting, which means understanding that my daughter is her own person outside of myself. She has her own beliefs and ideologies. And she's been through some stuff. So, hey, Jess. Hey, Denise. So I try to keep it extremely real with my daughter in the hopes that my experiences will help her gain more experience down the road and will help her make good decisions in life, right? So when I was her age, I had a lot of what we now call inner child wounds in the spiritual world, right? I had a huge chip on my shoulder. I had a lot of daddy issues, and I was just really angry with the world, right? Really angry, very out of control. Do you want to share this seat with me?
No, I'm sitting on my basket. Okay.
Look, okay. Here, come with me. So, I was just wild and nuts in high school, doing a lot of stuff I did not need to be doing, hanging out with a lot of people, Needless to say, when I was 16, I dropped out of high school and I got my GED a week later. And then I got pregnant the next month with this one back here. I proceeded to leave my home at 16 as a 16-year-old, and I moved to North Carolina with my daughter's father. And lo and behold, we found out we were pregnant with her. So 10 days after I turned 17, I have her, and needless to say, that's probably when the real roller coaster began.
Oh my gosh, my hair's on a whole new crack level.
So in that time period going between 18 to 25, I went to culinary school in Asheville, and then I moved to Chicago.
Oh my gosh, that was a whole thing. Like, all she did was bake. And
that was in Asheville.
You made me
that was
fat.
That was not this recent time. That was Asheville.
Fat.
Okay, so you were very little when this happened. So she was 1. I went to culinary baking school, and then I moved to Illinois with my dad. I lived with him for a little bit, and then I moved to Florida when she was little, and then I moved back up to North Carolina and entered into a really heinous custody battle with her dad. And I don't know how much you want me to say about your dad. So I'm
okay. All right. I'm gonna lay it all out. I'm gonna lay it just right here. My dad's a total crackhead.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna lay it out. It's
okay. You gotta say it normal though, not like you're saying it now. You have to look at the camera and go, "Hey, you guys."
Okay. Hey, y'all. What's up? My name's Rebecca. I'm her twin. No, I'm her daughter. Anyways, my dad, he
Angela says, "I love Becca as your co-host."
I love you too. Okay.
So,
anyways, my dad, he whenever he was living in Florida at a young age, he was really bad on drugs, but it lasted a while. I mean, I guess he stopped. I don't really know. Whenever he got with his ex-wife, they had 4 kids together. Three kids together. She had 2 stepkids. Well, she had 2 kids already. Anyways, my dad, like I said, drug addict. Was a drug addict. Don't really know anymore. He's now an alcoholic. I don't really know what's going on with that situation. He isn't really in my life anymore. I mean, I hope that in the future, when I get older and I'm able to deal with my emotions more, that I will allow him back in my life, and hopefully he will be so much more healthier and be able to actually be healthy for me.
Yes. And he we are good. We are good.
I'm great.
She did. I don't know who this person is. Yes, thank you. Your sister. That's my daughter. But yeah, people think we're sisters. But yes, I think your sister needs sleep. She looks tired.
Yeah.
But so you guys, needless to say, I went to my first custody battle my only custody battle I've ever gone through with her daughter, with her father, who at the time had just started his journey on methamphetamine. So it was really tumultuous, to say the least. She was actually utilized against me at 6 years old to testify against me in court, and was manipulated to make it seem that I was an abusive parent. So I went through a lot of that, and the whole time I went through that.
I have something to say.
Okay.
By the way, I'm sorry if I look really sleepy. It's just I've had a really long day. Really rough day. Anyways, with that situation, my dad and his ex-wife were promising stuff, and I just thought it'd be a whole bunch more better to live with my dad and stuff. I mean, the situation now, it's a bit confusing, but
it's all good. We'll get to that.
It's all good. Like I said, when I was living with them, though, it wasn't the greatest. I mean, yeah, it was for like the first 2 weeks, but later on, the situation did get worse. But and then they ended up breaking up. They broke up a lot. But anyways, they ended up breaking up. So I half a year of my school year. So I ended up going to live with my mom again. So, yeah, that's really it. There's more to the story, but like I said, right now, he's an alcoholic. Don't really know if he's back on drugs. Haven't talked to him or anything like that. So, yeah.
And you guys, I want you to know something. This is Rebecca's first time sharing this to anybody. I'm very proud of her. It's very hard to get up here and share this, I think, especially when you're younger and you go through these things in life, right? If anybody can resonate with that, say, hey, yeah, me. So we went through this battle, and I remember thinking the whole time, like, I mean, and it was like 7 months. In the beginning of it, they took off with her. I didn't know where she was. It was nuts. It was probably one of the more traumatic things that I've ever gone through in my life. And it was one of those things where I really had to learn to trust that the best situation was going to come to play. Like, I really had to trust that the best thing was going to happen for me and for her and for my family. So we get through that, and you guys, are you done now?
No, I'm coming back.
You guys, I end up winning custody. Things go back to the way that they were. And Angela says, Becca, I'm proud of you for sharing.
Oh, thank you. There's more to the story.
Yes. And
we'll get to that.
we'll get to that. But so anyway, so I remember the whole time I'm in this custody battle telling my mom, like, man, I really feel like this is preparing me for something larger, right? Oh, this is going to be even more fun as we get into this. I said, I feel like this is just preparing me for something larger. Denise is clapping her hands. Yay.
Oh, thank you.
And I kept thinking, like, man, this is like, I don't feel like this is the it thing, right? Like, I feel like there's something bigger to this. I don't know what it is. So needless to say, by that time I had been married for a little while to my now ex-husband, my son's father. We had been married probably a little less than a year. And at that time, the red flags.
Oh, that's a whole roller coaster right there.
Let me explain this one, okay? I'm not going to go into this. But the red flags were starting to show, right? You guys are going to see my pattern here in a second. My guest might be coming on. So the red flags were starting to show, and needless to say, shit hit the fan. Yeah, with my ex-husband, and I found out and this is honestly the theme sometimes with life, you guys. I want you to understand that literally life, when it's time for things to shift and change, is going to shift and change whether you like it or not. So in a matter of like a day, my entire marriage life shifted, right? And I went from, you guys, oh gosh, hold on, you guys. Hello?
By the way, y'all, on that whole story.
Hello? Oh. You guys, that's my guest. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, needless to say, so the red flags were there before we got to where it blew up.
He had anger issues.
He had anger issues.
He was I do have to comment on that he was great at the start, because
they always are.
He really was. He was so nice, and he was sweet. But once they got married, it was like
his addiction came into play. So the whole time. Okay. You guys, 1 second.
Sorry, I'll really see don't break them up. Okay. So I got it.
Okay. All right, you guys. Sorry about this. All right. So he into our marriage, he became like, his addictions really came to the front, and I really wanted to be married. I didn't want my marriage to fail. And I did have a lot of love for my now ex-husband. I really tried very hard to make the marriage work. To tell you a little bit about how it was, 2 weeks before my son was due to be born, my ex decided he was going to quit his job because he did not like the guy he was working with. So I had my son 2 weeks early. And because I could not get FMLA, I had to go back to work before the 30-day mark. So I was not auto-terminated at my job, because now my husband does not have a job. because he didn't have a job and I was out of work and I was not getting any kind of paid leave for my son. 2 weeks after my son was born, we had to move out of our apartment. And when I say we had to move, me included. So we are moving from we're moving stuff from a downstairs apartment up and out. And this is, mind you, 2 weeks after giving birth to my second child and having a full tubal ligation, which for anybody who wants to know what that is, that means getting your tubes tied. So in about, and you guys, my guests will not be coming on. There was a scheduling conflict, so it's okay. And I think, like I say, this is always the stories that are meant to happen. So here we are. So 2 weeks after my son, 3 weeks after my son is born, I go back to work because I don't have a choice and I have to go back to work. And that's kind of when, and then needless to say, we got married not long after that. And that's kind of, and you think like, oh, you probably should have seen the red flags there, but no, I really wanted to share a name with one of my children because I don't share a name with her. And I wanted to have the family, right? I wanted that family unit that we talk about, the partnership, the happy blended family. Everybody's happy and getting along. And
by the way, y'all, he has a daughter. So
yeah,
but she pretty much adopted her.
Yeah, that's my stepdaughter. So, if you ever hear me say stepdaughter, that's my stepdaughter. So anyways, we get into the marriage. We're probably a little bit over a year, and I really start seeing the red flags. They're really bad. And money starts disappearing. Like, I'm talking about thousands of dollars.
He was stealing from my grandma.
Yeah, he's stealing from my mother. He's not working at this point. He has not been working.
He was yelling at us.
I'm supporting a household thinking that bills are getting paid and they're not. So the day that everything shattered, I guess, and that's why I say everything literally drops in a second. The day before, I remember going to God because I had gone to the doctor's office the week before, and the doctor literally said to me, like, if you don't you're so stressed out that if you don't do something soon, you're going to have a heart attack at like 25. You're going to have a stroke or something, and you're going to kill yourself.
I didn't know about this.
Now, mind y'all, he was sitting in the doctor's office with me when that happened, right? My stress levels were so bad. I had TMJ, like severe TMJ, to the point where it was very hard to talk some days because my jaws were so swollen. And I remember the night before all the shit hit the fan, falling on the floor and just praying to God, like, listen, just give me something that I can't ignore, right? Just give me some kind of sign that lets me know that it's time to go, because I don't think that I'm going to move if you don't give me something. I was so scared. I didn't want to be that failure single mom, right? Now I'm a single mom of 2 kids. I'm a massive statistic, essentially. I didn't want to be that. And not only that, all the women in my family had been divorced from their first marriage. And I was like, I don't want to perpetuate the curse, as I called it, right? Our first marriages never worked. Second marriages do just fine, apparently. But the first marriages didn't work. And I didn't want to be that person, right? And needless to say, shit hit the fan the next day and everything changed. And everything that I thought I could control, I found out I wasn't controlling. Needless to say, we were... Oh, yeah, because it's on Do Not Disturb. Both. Okay. Needless to say, we owed $4,000 to our landlords at the time that I did not know about. Thank you to them because they were such amazing people. We owed
they were an older couple and they were really nice.
We owed like over $1,000 in electric bills. I lost a car because of that. I ended up giving him our car and I took on a car payment. I pretty much left with just mine and Rebecca's stuff. And I said, I just, what really hit the fan, I guess, besides all that, is he had cashed $1,000 worth of checks into the bank account that my mom was letting me use at the time to get my money. And I lost an entire month's worth of wages to it. And so needless to say, in the matter of a week, I lost my marriage, I lost my house, and a week later I was moving with my mom at 25, now a single mom to 2 kids. Yeah, and we literally picked up and moved our entire life from Morganton to Asheville, which is about an hour from here. My daughter went to a completely different school, and kind of the life we knew it as it was, I knew had ended. I switched.
I do have to say, though, that I have moved to 6 different schools because of reasons. The first time I moved when I was younger, whenever we were having that legal issue with my dad, that was the first time. But like I said, you'll notice that I moved schools in this in our life story a lot.
Yes. And just to put a little pattern in there, this is why I say it's very good to know your patterns, especially when you grow up with. I moved a lot, and especially in elementary school and middle school. When I was growing up, I think I did 4 different elementary schools. I did 1 different middle school and then a totally different high school in another district. So I moved a lot. My dad traveled and worked in different states. So I probably lived in about a dozen states, somewhere around there in my lifetime. So anyway, so I lost a month's worth of wages. It was horrific. Like, they shut my mom's bank account down. It was really bad. So I said, all right, God, I don't know what this means. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm going to trust that the best thing for us is what's going to happen. So we moved up to Asheville. I had, I was a pharmacy technician at the time. You guys, I'm a jack of all trades. And I set about on this new journey, and and when I first got up there, I still hadn't learned, you guys. I was talking to an ex-boyfriend that I probably didn't need to be talking to. I was just wild and crazy still. And I was not where my head was not where it needed to be. Like, it really wasn't. So I remember driving home one day, and it's very early morning, and like really early. And I'm going, what are you doing, man? Like, go home. You didn't want to be hanging out with those people anyways. Like, I don't get what you're doing. Look what you just got out of. Like, you're not even fully divorced yet. Like, all this, like, it's that aha epiphany moment everybody talks about in the world. Yeah, I'm having that on I-40 driving home at like 5 o'clock in the morning, right? And I was hanging out with an ex-boyfriend at the time, Rebecca. You weren't there. You weren't there.
All right, I was about to be like,
no, you were not there. Okay, you guys, I don't go out and party when I have my kids first and foremost.
She doesn't.
Okay? So anyway, so I'm driving home, and I said, all right, I get home, and I'm going, you know what? I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't know what I have to do to feel better, but I don't want to keep dating the same people and having the same patterns come up. So I don't want to make this too much longer, but needless to say, I set about on a journey of discovering who I was, why I had the patterns I had, why I was attracting the people I was attracting, and how could I eliminate that so I didn't keep dating the people like that, but also so that my daughter didn't take on that generational curse.
How long is your thing?
It's only till 8:30.
8:30? What time is it?
It is 7:56.
Oh gosh, about 30 minutes.
It's all right. We're good. So, needless to say, in this time, this is another tidbit that I have for here. When these things happen, you are going along in your purpose, you are going to be tested over and over and over again. So, in and amongst this time living with my mom, and I'm learning to work through my own emotions and how I actually cope outside of utilizing substances to cope. Like, I'm actually working to cope through stuff. Her father disappears and ends up in jail. You guys, ends up in jail.
Was that the time he was living at that one house?
I don't know. It was the first time he went to jail. And
for like a month.
Yeah, remember he was gone for 2 months, and then we found out he was in jail.
All right. What happened with that is my dad was really bad on drugs. Was that the time I was visiting him?
We went to visit him and we couldn't find him.
Okay. Yeah, that was the first time. My dad has been in and out of my life. I have cut him out of my life multiple times. But usually I'm one of those people that forgive people easily, don't hate on people. I can't hold grudges. Don't know why.
That's a good thing.
Anyways, like I said, he's been in and out of my life. That was probably the first time he was probably about like 8 was the first time he was out of my life because like I said, his ex-wife, we did get along, but then after a while, me and her, we didn't really get along because while I was staying with him on weekends during summer, I would watch the kids. I was about 8 or 9, watch the kids by myself, stuff like that while she was sleeping. It was hard on me. But like I said, They fell out again. They fell out every like 2 years.
Something like that.
Something like that. It was bad.
It's so bad, you guys. Now they have a DSS forced injunction where they can't be together ever again. But they still are.
So that's what happened. And pretty much my dad wasn't in my life during that time period. Whenever he was with his wife, he was never really with me. He was more of like on the side. Like I said, I was more the nanny to the kids. I mean, yeah, I was still a big sister to them, but to my dad and his ex-wife, I was their nanny pretty much. But you know, but yeah, he did disappear from my life. Found out 2 months later that he was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Through this whole story, you'll find that he was in and out of jail. I'll let you continue.
So in all this, she started having her own stuff. And I remember going, okay, I have to really start getting better to help her. And at the time I didn't know how to help her. So we entered into the counseling with her. So through all this, I'm learning to help myself while learning to help her at the same time, and going through this and just going through this really long stint of growth.
By the way, y'all, I was really depressed because I was really stressed as a kid because of being there for the younger ones, making sure that everyone else was happy. I was depressed and stuff like that. And I did get help. I went to therapy. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped therapy around 13, 12.
13, I think, right before we went to Florida.
All right. So I stopped therapy around 13. Also, after Asheville, we moved back to Morganton.
Mm-hmm. And I became the general manager for a gym. So you guys, hey, Tina, we're doing a daughter-mother show or sister-sister show if people don't believe that I'm her mother. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Tina, who was the first person on this show. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my light, y'all. I'm going to lose my light. You guys are going to see my craziness. So, yeah, so we go through this, and I'll tell you what was the turning point in this for me. All right, you guys. So at one point, I wake up one day. I don't want that. And, we're going through all this, and I remember waking up, and it was just me and my son that weekend. I don't quite remember where my daughter had gone.
It was at my house.
Yeah, and when he was out.
Like I said, me and my dad were on and off thing. We were either friends or
friends, not father and daughter.
Yeah, that's
friends.
He's always treated me. I've always been for him his biggest supporter, one that can be for him there, and he always put his problems on me. You'll learn that later into the story where that comes into a part.
Mm-hmm. So I have this aha moment, and I wake up one day and I go, oh my God, like, I feel great. Like, I spent 25 years, and that's some time. So like 11 conscious years, 14 to 25, hating who I was, hating my body, just hating myself. Right. And I remember waking up one day and I go, oh my God, like, I feel great. Well, I feel good. I actually feel happy. And I like this feeling, and I want to feel this a little more. So going through this journey, we move back to Morganton, and I start diving even further into what I need to feel better.
We've been back to Morganton multiple times, just so you know.
Our life has been an adventure.
Yeah.
An adventure. Okay. But yeah, so I moved back to Morganton. I was the GM for a gym, and I also started baking again. I discovered my love of baking. So you guys, it's a little bit before I even get here. Yup, can relate. Yes, you can. Hello, Ashley.
Hey.
Oh, hi, everybody. So we're...
By the way, through her whole baking experience, gosh, it was, every week she was baking something, and then it was like, I remember this one time she made macaroons, and oh my gosh, those are some burnt macaroons.
They were not burnt. They were chocolate.
Okay, whatever you say, whatever.
They were chocolate. They were chocolate macaroons, okay?
Whatever helped you.
Anyways, so we moved back. I also forayed into the first time working 2 jobs at one time while raising 2 kids. I was living in an apartment by myself. So you guys, yes, Tina, we will reconnect. I promise we'll reach out. So the second time ever only living in my own place, me, myself, and my kids. And, you know, going through this growth of first
me and her. Because,
yeah. And then my son on the weekends. So I was GMing this gym. I was running this business. I was learning to just be my own person outside of a relationship. I was actively not dating. I was not seeking a relationship. And I really just wanted to focus on me and the kids, right? So in this time, I'm working 2 jobs, I'm GMing, and you guys, I burned the living shit out of myself. Like, I burnt out so bad, right? I burnt out. I was not seeing the kids. I mean, when I tell you I was working like a freaking crazy person, I'd be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning until 9, 10 o'clock at night, only to come home and do that again 5, 6 days a week, plus spend the time that I could with them. And needless to say, that ended and I went back into culinary, but that's not where that is. So during this whole time, I'm really diving into what it is that makes me happy, right? And I get back into school, baking and pastry school. I said, all right, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to finish my degree because that's what I love and that's what I want to do, you guys. In fact, actually, before I ever got into coaching, I was going to open a donut shop and I was going to call it Dope Nuts because we make the dopest donuts in town. Dope Nuts, you guys. DOUGHP nuts, dope nuts. It's going to be a thing one day, you guys. You never know. You're going to come say, I'm going to go get some dope nuts, you guys. All right. Maybe one day I'll do it. But,
sounds like dope.
Yeah, exactly. Dope. DOUGHP. It's a little play on words. Dope nuts. Donuts.
Okay.
Whatever, you guys. So anyways, because we're getting a low on time. So anyways, I'm going through baking and pastry and I said, all right, you know what? I feel like, and this is what I say again, back to the shifts. I feel like the rest of my story is not here in Morganton. So what that shifted into was
we moved
to Florida. Literally, okay, there's a theme with me, you guys. I pick up and just go. Like when it's time when I'm told to go, I pick up and go. I don't question what that looks like. I just go. So you guys, in the span of 6 months, I moved my entire life down to Florida, minus my son.
We literally picked up everything, moved it to a storage unit, moved in with my great-grandparents.
Yep. And I said, all right, I'm going to learn how to make really good donuts, right? So you guys, this is not where that journey part, where my, like the business begins yet. So we get down there and I'm actually like learning to make donuts. I consider myself now master donut maker. I make really good donuts. And I'm in the apartment in Florida, and I remember one day,
also, y'all, we did have a problem with the apartments because it was it was like one of those apartment complexes that you had to wait on the apartment to get it.
Yeah, income based.
And we did have a problem with that, but we luckily did get the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it worked out really well. I believe everything that's meant to happen happens, and it happened. We got our place, right? So I remember one day going, because I'm down in Florida now, I'm working 2 jobs and I'm still working like a crazy person. I said, oh my God, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to work like this and miss out on my kids. And I've never seen my kids. I'm never home. And I'm making crap money. Like I'm working 2 jobs to make crap money and barely pay my bills, right? And on top of that, I just wasn't satisfied. I'm like, this cannot be what I'm here to do. Like, this just cannot be it. So I remember one day I'm sitting in my apartment, I'm going like, there has to be something else. And I go, oh my God, okay, I want to help women, right? Because by this point I was like super, super empowered. I loved my life. I was really happy. I loved who I was. I just had a really deep sense of inner happiness and peace. And I remember going, man, if I could just like bottle this into like a pill, and I wouldn't even sell this. I would give it to all women because I think all women need to feel this way. You need to be happy in your life. You need to know what makes you happy. You you need to be able to have the courage to go after those things that scare the shit out of you, but light your soul on fire at the same time, right? Like going to Florida and uprooting my entire life that I had known for the last 13 years was scary as shit, y'all. Scary as shit. I had no safety net of any sorts down in Florida other than a few family members, but it wasn't even like that. Like I was literally picking up and just going where I was told to go. So, and that's another thing about learning to listen to yourself. When you get to that point in your journey, you will be able to hear those things that tell you like, this is where you're going. And when those things happen, don't question them. Don't like, it's going to look absolutely nuts, but don't question any bit of it. Right. So we moved down to Florida and I'm going, okay, well, I want to help women. And I'm like, how do I help them get to where I'm at? And I said, I'm going to create a podcast, you guys. I'm going to create a podcast. So I started formulating.
This is where the start of the
and this is where the start of the business began, y'all, is the podcast. And it's funny is My podcast is still on iTunes. You got iTunes, you guys. In fact, it came up the other day. Oh my God, it's still there. Like, I just can't believe it, right?
Why do you still do it?
Because I do this now.
Oh,
This is my vlogcast. We'll call that my vlogcast.
okay.
So needless to say, I said, all right, well, I'm going to start the podcast. People were like, well, how are you going to monetize that? And my business plan was I'm going to get really high level sponsors to do my podcast. But I'm going to tell you guys something. That's a little bit harder than one thinks. And I got into podcasting and I said, all right, well, there has to be something more than this, right? Like this, there's more to it than this. So here's how this works when we start tapping into what we're meant to do, our purpose, right? You just have to follow that next step. I always tell people this. We get caught up in that huge vision, right? The huge vision, or we get caught up in the vision of what it looks like to us at that point, and we forget that really what matters is what is our next step. The metaphor that I love to give is a story that I was told, or a story about driving through fog, right? So we can only ever really see usually like 1 to 3 feet in front of us when we're driving in fog. But we know that if we go those 1, 2, 3 feet, we're going to get the following 1 to 3 feet. And every little bit that we go is going to give us the next piece of our path. And it's the same way in life, right? So we get caught up thinking, oh my God, there's a ton of fog in front of us. And what am I going to do? Instead of going, hey, I can see the next 1 to 3 feet. Let me drive that thing. So for a little bit, I got caught up, and then I said, okay, well, what's the next step? So each next step I would take would lead me to my next step. And lo and behold, I said, I really want to help women, like on a much bigger scale than just podcasting, you guys. I wanted to bring women empowerment. I wanted to talk about stuff that we weren't talking about, taboo subjects, things that I've gotten to talk about on this show. So miscarriage, rape, things like that, things that I believe that all women should have the ability to talk about, because it's such a personal thing to us and we all go through it. We've all had some form of sexual abuse in our life. You know, we've had some form of substance abuse. We have those imposter syndromes, and we have this, and it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you go through the day to day and get through it? And that's what I wanted to bring to the world. But then I was like, well, how do I help women get to the point where they are empowered enough to go through these situations and not allow it to derail them in life? Yeah, don't crush it. It's good luck, you guys. Ladybugs in my room.
While she was doing this was about 6 months into our Florida journey. I found out my dad was back on drugs really badly, and I just dived right back into depression. Also, I was missing North Carolina really badly, but I didn't want to leave my mom. I really didn't. I didn't want to leave her because I felt like she would be lonely, but I had a big support system in North Carolina. I still do. So I moved in with my grandparents.
Mm-hmm. So you guys, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes life shakes you up really hard, especially when you're moving in the direction of your purpose. Life is going to come at you, because the whole point is to derail you from it, right? Because when you have a big mission granted to you, when you have a huge purpose put for you, the devil himself is going to come up and try to shake you down from it. And trust me, you guys, we have been through some shit the last few days where I've sat here and just
14 days.
Just questioned, like, oh my God, what am I doing, right? And so needless to say, back to the original story.
So she's still doing her business. She's still doing what she was doing in Florida.
That's what I was going to tell me. So needless to say, I'm going, how can I help women more? And life coaching came into my peripheral, right? Life coaching. And I said, all right, you know what? I can do this. I've actually been doing this. I've been coaching people for the last 2 years without being professionally coaching them. So I entered into a basic life coach certification and got that. And I said, all right, well, how do I keep building this? And what the hell does this even look like, right? So then I invested into my coaches for the first time, you guys. But I knew all along that I wanted to create a company that would empower all women. And not even just that, it would connect women on a global scale, and it would help to shift the paradigm and status quo as we knew it within women, which was that cattiness. Women can't work together. Women can't be trusted. Women aren't meant to be great leaders. You know, women just can't do the same stuff that men can do. And I'm going to tell you something, coming from someone who has worked in incredibly male-dominated industries for her entire working career, basically, ladies, that is a lie, okay? That is a lie. The only limitations we have on ourselves that we can't do anything to the equal amount or greater of a man is the ones we put on ourselves and the ones we allow society to tell us, right? You guys, I could go in there and work twice as hard, bitch half as much, and get 3 times as much done.
Multiple
Okay.
jobs asked her to stay because she worked so hard.
Yes. Thank
One
you.
job even like told her that they were gonna give her more money.
Yes. Right.
So.
But I didn't. So you guys, I'm like, you know what? I don't believe the lie, and I want to help women get to this point where they are just really happy in life. They love what they're doing, and because they're happy, because they love what they do, and because they're empowered and they're confident as shit now, they go out and they achieve things that they did not think they could achieve. Because you guys, law of attraction, all that manifestation, that's all a wonderful thing. But you want to know how you get what you want? You have that underlying confidence. You have that self-awareness to go out and be like, listen, this scares the shit out of me, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to make this happen anyways. Because you guys, I have spoke, I have done opportunities that scared the shit out of me. I have invested money that I didn't have that scared the shit out of me. I had no idea if I was going to get a return on it, but I knew that by having that confidence to follow through with it, I was going to always make stuff happen. So thinking through all this and going back on everything that I looked at, I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to help women get to where I'm at now, right? I'm going to help them become confident. I'm going to help give them the capability to go out and create the life that they want. I'm going to teach them how to roll with the punches, man, and get back up. Resilience and perseverance. That is the key sometimes. Resilience and perseverance. When you feel like you want to quit sometimes, being able to get up and roll with the punches is all you got sometimes. And sometimes all you got is you being able to do it. Sometimes all you have, there were moments in life where I was it. It was it. It was me and her for a while. You know, I didn't have a support system for a long time. There was a period of time where me and my mom were not in communication with each other. And when that happens, you have to be able to pick yourself up. You have to be able to go, this is not the end, and this is not the end of me. So TUF Woman came into existence because I wanted to teach women that, because I knew that if they just understood their own power and what they could accomplish with said power, we would be able to change we would be able to create a paradigm shift so insane that it would actually help balance out the world, you guys. And in case anybody's wondering, my vision is massive. My vision is huge. Like, y'all have really only just seen the beginning of what this vision looks like. I think I'm only on like level 2 with this thing. Seriously.
Get back onto the story.
Yes. So that is how TUF Woman came into play, right? And I entered into it, how to create my company, how to foundationalize it. And you guys, there was a lot of ups and downs with that. There was so much. At one point, I went into a high stress sales job. I was commission based only, literally quit a job to go into this. And I said, all right, well, this isn't, if I'm going to be working this hard, I literally worked 50, 60 hours that week. Why am I not doing this for my own company? So I quit my job, you guys. I'm like driving to work and I'm going, oh my God, you don't want to go here. Like my whole voice is screaming, like, you don't want to go here. You don't want to go here. Quit your damn job. Quit my job that morning and I went full-time in business. And I want to say to you that I jumped off the cliff and the net appeared, yada, yada, yada. That did not happen, which is why I don't recommend quitting your job. I mean, some people, hey, listen, if you're called to it, if you feel like this is the best move for you, because I felt like it was the best move for me, then by all means do it. Like, I'm not going to down you in any way. But make sure that it's not your ego talking to you. Make sure that it is actually like your intuition going, listen, you're not going to get any larger unless you quit that job, because that job's just a distraction from what you're doing. So
after that happened, you moved back.
I ended up moving back to North Carolina. I did work for a little bit before I left Florida, but I also pitched my company too, and I moved back to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And you guys have been on the journey with me ever since, building this company. All these phases of it, and through it all, it has definitely been the most roller coaster ride. I mean, to say the last 14 days has been
the last. Do you want me to explain the 14 days, or
that's up to you, honey? That's really up to you.
All right, so I will explain the last 14 days. So New Year's Day, Wednesday. I was texting my cousin. And I could tell she was mad at me, stuff like that. So I called her, and she starts just talking a whole bunch, a mile a minute. And me and her are going back and forth. And then it was over some stuff. I'm not going to go into that because, anyways, just letting you know, I was lying to a bunch of people, such as her, me and her trust. We're building that trust back right now. But anyways, I was, she found out that night that I was using other substances to deal with my suicidal thoughts, my really bad depression. I was hearing voices. There were depressing voices. I can't say it.
She's not schizophrenic.
Yes, I'm not that. I wasn't talking back to them. They were just really bad voices. Anyway, she took me to the hospital in Morganton called Grace Hospital. They had me there for 3 days. And then I was sent to a place that is
it's group home inpatient.
Mental facility. I was in a mental.
It's all right, honey. You're not the only one.
Mental home, whatever it's called. What's it called?
Mental health facility.
I was in a mental hospital. Anyway,
it's a group home, you guys.
Mental hospital. So later on, all right, I was in there for 11 days. I didn't really know what was going on. Just, it was bad, I guess. I got out. I've now been dumped with some stuff. Like I said, I was living with my grandparents at the time. Right now, I'm not living with them anymore. I'm going to be living with her again. So you guys might see me on the show more. We're having some, like I said, family issues. Yeah. So that is what was going on. I am a lot more better now. But I am self-medicating for it.
You're not self-medicating. No. You're getting medicine.
Medicine.
Okay, she's not self-medicating, you guys.
Well, I don't even know that.
She gets medication. Yes, self-medicating would mean if you were like getting pills illegally, honey.
No, I'm not doing that.
I promise.
Sorry, y'all.
It's okay. But I think what's important about this is through this, you know, this is every time this has happened, like not every time this has happened, but there
yesterday, by the way.
Yes, she got it yesterday.
I'm doing a lot better. Like I'm in a whole new mood. But that's been our whole experience for the last 14 days.
Yeah. So you guys, again, back to when you were in your purpose, these things are gonna happen. Like your life is gonna smack you in the freaking face. Hard. Like you guys, I feel like I've been hit with a ton of bricks. Angela says, very brave for sharing, Becca. Your sharing will help others. That is what my hope is with her story, is that one of these days she's going to utilize that to share it with someone and help somebody else that's in this situation, especially in this day and age when you look at the suicide and depression rates within teens and young adults. It's horrendous. It is. And I knew with her that when this happened, that surrounding her with love and getting her the help she needed was the most important thing, right? So, so I guess, yeah. So anyways, so going through all this, the purpose never changed, right? It really just hammered down why I had to keep moving through this, right? Empowering myself and working through my own demons helps me to empower my daughter to work through her own. And by helping my daughter to work through her own, she's able to help her children work through theirs, and so on and so forth. And so therefore we break that generational curse and we don't pass that down. But by helping myself heal and helping her heal, I start helping other women heal in the process, right? And when it comes down to it, why I created the business and why I keep doing what I'm doing, even when it sucks sometimes, you guys, today has been an emotional freaking roller coaster. Like it took so much for me to just get this damn makeup on and be on this show, right? Because it's been hard. It's been a hard day for me. I'm not even going to lie. Like I have cried more times than I can count, but I'm still here because at the end of the day, the purpose is still the purpose. The mission is still the mission. And I still got to show up because even when I feel like quitting, even when I feel like just sitting on the ground and freaking crying, I am reminded that I'm here for a reason. And that reason is because I'm here to empower women to become self-aware, to recognize that they have that leadership potential, to recognize that they have greatness within them. And that once they tap into that, their entire life as they know it will change. Not can change, it will change. Like, you guys, sometimes I look at where I'm at and I think, God, this is like not where I want to be, but it's where I need to be. And I'm going to tell you something. A year before that, it's where I was praying to be. You guys, looking at everything that I've gone through, I'm so grateful for what I have gone through. And that's, to be able to come to that space and understand that everything happens for me, not to me, is the biggest thing that I've learned on this whole journey, right? When we are in this mission to do things and we're here and we're purpose driven, we're going to get smacked upside the face, especially when your purpose is large, like mine is. You're going to get hit with a lot of life and things are going to come at you. It's how you pick yourself up and keep going that matters, right? So there's tip number 1. Life's going to hit you. But are you going to lay in the ground and die, or are you going to get back up and go, okay, you know what? You hit like a bitch, right? Don't say that, because then you tip the universe, right? So the second thing I would say to this, because now we're moving out into story because we're getting on here, is find your purpose. I shit you not. Your purpose is in your pain, right? So look at my daughter who just shared that amazing story. Which, by the way, thank you, Becca, for coming on and sharing your story. There's purpose in that pain. Like, it's painful. I'm not discounting how painful it is, but there is purpose in that pain. So when you're asking yourself, why am I going through what I'm going through? Right? Why did God lead me here? What is the purpose to all this? Ding, ding, ding. There's purpose. That is the purpose. There's purpose in that pain, right? So figure out. So my purpose came from knowing that I was dating the wrong men. I was living a life that I hated. I was just working jobs just to barely pay bills, not even make ends meet, and I wasn't seeing my kids. And I said, God, this is not it. This is not it. I'm meant for so much more. There has to be more to life than this, and this is not the only thing that I want to do. I want to help people on a larger scale, right? But what do? So the pain was in that I hated that life, but I didn't want to feel that. I didn't want to feel that way. I don't want to hate my life. Right? I wanted to be happy. I saw other women doing it. I'm like, why can't I do it? Right? Why can't I be that chick on social media that is just loving life? She's got a thriving business. She's glowing. She literally looks like she just drank out of the fountain of youth. Surely to God, she's not really 35 because she looks like she's 20, right? I said, all right, I wanted to be one of those chicks that was just fearless and went after everything she wanted. She made all her dreams come true. And no matter how hard it got, she picked herself right the fuck back up and she kept going. All right. And I said, that's what I wanted to be. And I remember one day someone sending me the word unfuckwithable and what it meant. I said, that's it. That's what I am. And that's what I'm going to teach women to be, you guys. So understand that your pain has a purpose. And if you don't know what your purpose is, look at the pain you have been through. Ask yourself, what can I do with this? Because I'm going to give you one thing that someone told me about that. When you get to the gates of heaven and you die, whether you believe that or not, I believe in God. So God is going to ask you when you come to the pearly gates, did you use everything I gave you? I heard this in a church sermon one time. Did you use everything I gave you? And I have to ask you that now. Are you using everything God gave you? Are you using all your gifts that God gave you? Because trust me, you have your gifts for a reason. This imposter syndrome that worries you, that does not need to exist. God created you specifically for a reason, and there is not a single soul on this planet that can do what you were sent here to do. Are there a lot of other female leadership coaches? I'm sure there are. But can they relate to the women that I'm going to relate to? No, they can't, because they haven't gone through the things that I've gone through. And you guys, I really have just given you kind of a gloss over of everything. Okay? I have gone through this insane roller coaster. And yet every time I ask myself, this is my last piece. What's the lesson in this, right? So I don't remember. Oh my God, I don't remember what the first one was. The second was find your purpose. Oh yeah. So when life hits you, get back up. Resilience is key. Resilience and persistence. If you can learn to be resilient and roll with the punches and be persistent and keep going no matter what, if you can learn to fall on your damn face and hit rock bottom and get back up and go, you know what, that sucked, but that didn't kill me, then you can do anything. Because here's the deal. You only fail when you quit trying. You only fail when you quit trying. Second tidbit is Find your purpose. Purpose is in the pain, you guys. So whatever pain you've been through, look back and ask yourself, what is that purpose? What is the purpose in that pain, right? And the last thing is a mindset shift. And this is a really key mindset shift, right? So when things are happening in our lives, we oftentimes have the ability to go, oh my God, why is this happening to me? So you guys, life is never happening to you, right? Life is just happening, right? So when we say, why is this happening to me? It's not that life is happening to you. It's that life is happening, but the way you perceive things is a general attack on yourself, right? It's not that life is attacking you. It's the way you perceive it. It's the lens that you see life through. So when we are going through this, I challenge you to shift your perspective to go, not why is this happening to me, but for what reason is this happening? What is the lesson in all this? What am I supposed to be getting from it? And if you can do just that simple mindset shift, if you can do just that little tweak, it allows you to change your perspective on things, to not only be able to see the silver lining, as they call it, but to actually look at a situation, even if it's a shitty situation, with complete and utter gratitude. You guys, this 14 days has been hell, roller coaster, but every day I have challenged myself to go, okay, why is this happening? I'm going to tell you something right now. It is happening because it is cleansing things that did not, there are negative things that were happening that needed to be brought to the light, darkness that needed to be brought to the light, because here's the deal. 2020, I'm going to hit momentum. It doesn't look like that to me right now, but it's coming. So had this happen later on in the year, God only knows what would have happened with my daughter mentally, but this would have been just like a brick wall and the momentum would have died, right? So better that it happened now in the beginning so that I can get on solid ground and get going for that ball to keep rolling. So it's always that ability to switch our mindset to, okay, well, why is this happening versus why is this happening to me, right? What is the lesson behind this? So those are my 3 tips for you guys. That's like the 3 pieces of advice. Learn to become resilient and persistent in every single thing that you do. Be aggressive in a good way. Be aggressive about your life. Be aggressive about your dreams. Be aggressive about the things that set your soul on fire. I don't give a shit what anybody tells you, if that's a negative, whatever. Be aggressive about what sets your soul on fire and what is part of your purpose, because that is the things that you are meant to do here. Find your purpose and understand that your purpose lies in your pain. So if you don't know what your purpose is, ask yourself, where have you felt the most pain in your life? And go, what can I do with that? Because I guarantee you, here's the other part, the pain you've gone through is part of your purpose, and it is here for you to help serve somebody else, right? Yes, keep going towards there will be roadblocks and delays, but don't stop going, and breathe. Exactly. And just remember, you guys, when you're going through it, in order to it's a Paulo Coelho quote. So it's when you are getting ready to ascend to the next level, the universe is going to come up and test you on every single thing you've learned from this level you're on now. Literally everything is going to come hit you at once. Don't freak out. Breathe. This is you ascending to that next level, right? This is a test to see A, how bad do you want it, and B, have you learned what you need to learn to go to the next level, okay? So just remember, when shit hits the fan, why is this happening? What's the lesson? And understand that it is for your growth. Diamonds are refined under pressure, you guys. Diamonds are refined under pressure. Just remember that. So, you guys, this is the end of the show. Thank you for everybody that came on and was a part of this. And I am so grateful to my daughter for sharing. You guys have no idea how long I've wanted her to share part of her story. So I'm very privileged that she felt honored to do that. And yes, you guys will see her more. I feel like we're probably going to have some more like co-shows together. Who knows? She might have her own one day. But thank you guys so much for being on here. You guys, literally, I have to say this, as we encroach upon episode 50, I am so incredibly grateful for this platform. It was really hard for me today. And knowing that I had to come on and be in this energy was the one thing that just kept my mind focused. Like, okay, we got to get there. We got to just breathe, take that next step. We got to get there. We got to get there. Denise said you were inspiring. She is inspiring. She's going to change a whole lot of people's lives these days. And she's already changing lives, but, you guys keep me rolling with the punches sometimes, because I'm going to tell you, some days I'm just scratching my head going, what are you doing? And then I'm reminded that this is the purpose. This is the pain part, right? How bad do I want it? How bad do I really want to help these women? And I'm going to tell you, I hope that I'm helping women long after my physical life here on earth. I hope that my legacy has that generational ripple effect where it's the good that I do now ripples out for generations after me. And I hope that I am privileged enough to help other women do the same thing in their own life. I'm not kidding when I say I love working with visionary, purpose led women, which I believe is all of you. I believe all of you are visionary and purpose led women and men on here too. I believe we all have the ability to make a better world. And I'll tell you one thing before we get off here. I was once told that how could I think that I was going to change the world? The world can't be changed. And that's correct. You can't change the whole world, but you can change the little piece of the world that you're in. You can change your piece where you're at right now. You can change that. Every single day you wake up, you change that little piece of the world that you're at now. And here's the deal. You might just help one person in your lifetime, but you have no idea who that one person is. When I started the podcast, when I started this show, my goal has always been help the one, Ashley, help the one. And what I mean by that is help that one woman that comes onto my show and she gets an aha moment so pivotal that she changes the entire course and trajectory of her life. That's who this show is for, that one person. So as long as there is one eyeball on me at all times with this show, I will continue bringing on these women. I will continue sharing these stories because these stories are needed. These change the world. This is what when you ladies show up on this show, you give somebody else permission to do the same thing too. When you show up and you talk about your greatness, you give another woman the ability to be great too and to go, oh my God, I can do that too. And that is why I do it. And that is why I coach. And that is why I do the business that I do, because if at least one person has a better life because I was part of theirs and I helped get them to that space, then that to me is success. And I have done my job. I have fulfilled my purpose. If at least one person is impacted in a way that completely shifts their life to something that sends them on a trajectory to the best days of their lives, then I have been successful and I have done what I'm here for. So thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you guys so much for literally making one of my greatest dreams come true every day, which is to just be speaking my purpose in front of people all the time. Like that's one of my biggest goals and dreams. So thank you guys so much for being on. I know we started a little bit late. I just want to go ahead and make a quick call to action just to let you guys know I am running the TUF Woman Rising program, one-to-one coaching container. It is 25% off through the entire month of January. It is only for 5 women. I will only take 5 women just because I know that that's where the magic happens, is with those 5 women. Also, the Leadership Academy will be coming to play here in the next. Because of this, I wanted to have it released by the end of January, but it's just with everything going on, we're going to still be setting for a February release date, so pay attention to more of that. But the 5 spots are open for the one-to-one TUF Woman Rising program. It's a 4-month coaching program, and it's for visionary, purpose-led women who know that they are meant for more, and where they're at in life is not it, right? They know that there's more to life, but they're really not sure how to get there. Like, God, could you just bring someone to show me? Ding-ling-ling, I am somebody. So the 4-month coaching program is going to help you get clarity on who you are at your core. We're going to talk about sovereignty, autonomy, really bringing self-awareness back. We're going to get very clear on your boundaries, your values, the way you really want to show up in life. And then we're going to get super crystal clear about what you actually want to bring into the world. And then my favorite part, because I love the woo, but I love the do, we are going to create a strategy and action plan that you are going to go implement, and you're going to make your dreams come true, you guys. So when I say that your entire life will be changed from the moment you sign up with me, your entire life will look totally different 4 months from the time you sign up for me. So the 4-month one-to-one coaching program, TUF Woman Rising, is open, 25% off the whole program for the month of January, and referral bonuses as well as payment plans, you guys, because here's the deal. I believe all women should be empowered, and I don't think you need to take out a loan. I don't think you need to break the bank, and I don't think you need to go into debt to make that happen. So TUF Woman Rising one-to-one coaching program, 25% off for the entire month of January. If that sounds like something you would be interested in, and you're like, hell yeah, that's me, and I want to change my damn life. I want to be empowered as fuck. then reach out, comment here, say, I'm in, TUF Woman right here, or slide up into my DMs, and we'll get some stuff worked out. Stay tuned for more details on the Leadership Academy, you guys. I'm not going to rush myself because I have so much life going on at the moment, but I will present details as they come along. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for everybody that hung out a little bit after this. I'm so grateful for you guys. We will be on Thursday, as far as I know. My guest will be coming, and we will reschedule Miss Samantha Justine for another show. And it's always also, there are open spots for the TUF Woman Table, ladies. So get on this show. I want to spotlight you. I want you to share your story so that you can empower other women to do the same thing in the process, okay? So thank you guys so much for being on. Thank you guys for being a part of my journey. I can't tell you enough times how grateful I am for everything that I've been told that I do for people. It is 10 times that for what you guys do for me. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, my soul. So much love for this. All right. Have a fantastic evening. I'm going to go relax now. I am so tired. All right. So I hope everybody has a phenomenal evening. I will see you guys Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Becca says bye.